So I just made a video about my net worth at 30 years old, and in that video we saw that my net worth was. So how did I achieve this net worth? What happened? I am a normal person working a normal job, and I have over the median net worth for a 30 years old person. I have more than an average accumulator of wealth, just a little bit more. So I beat that calculation as far as the money guys show an average accumulator of wealth. I'm not a prodigious accumulator of wealth, but I do have a decent amount. There's certainly more 30-year-olds that have more net worth than me, certainly more individuals that have a lower net worth than me, but how did I achieve above average, above the median net worth for a 30-year-old person? So we're going to talk about that. So without further ado, don't forget to like this video because it's going to be insightful, maybe some basic stuff, maybe some new stuff. So hopefully enjoy, leave a comment, love comments, subscribe for more, folks. I do budget out everything. I do have some percent targets that I want to put towards saving and investing, and I make sure that is the majority. I try to definitely save and invest 25% of my income, and I'm definitely achieving that with the 401k deductions and a 401k match, and also my outside. This month, last month I'm actually saved and invest like 50% of my income. That's what I normally want to do. And since I'm not traveling as much, I do have more free dollars to do that. And also my income has increased a bit because I did a few more hours in these pay periods that are coming in. But once we normalize my paychecks, I definitely want to save and invest 35% of my income and creep towards that 50%. So having that target be there is setting me up for big success because most people don't save and invest that much. And I'm trying to save that much as I can. It helps me a lot. And I ultimately want to be a part of the FIRE movement. I want to retire early or coast FIRE, let my investments, let my business pay for my lifestyle, oversee my business, and I have that mindset to do it. So I keep talking about mindset. I want the money to grow. I want to put money where the money can grow, and so far that has led to a decent net worth. Hopefully I can reach my goal of 1 million in assets, not net worth, but 1 million in assets by the time I'm 45. So basically the fundamentals, since I was a young one, I wasn't really big in spending too much money. I always like to save and whatnot. So that's been the foundation of who I am. I'm not sure why I like to save. My sister, I always saw her buying food, buying food. I'm like, oh, you're spending so much money on food or whatever. I did love food, but I would save up to maybe buy some clothes or whatever, which was more expensive than the food. But, I would save for a goal, and that was kind of like a big thing of mine. And of course, now I have big goals as well. But I've always been in a saving mindset, not wanting to spend too much money. So after college, I decided to move back home. So I wasn't like forced by society or wasn't pressured to be like, oh yeah, you graduated from college, you need to get a place of your own. My parents were gracious enough to let me move home with them. And I know not all family dynamics were like that, but that was a huge blessing for me. That allowed me to save more money than I'm spending on rent. So that was a big savings. And I also had that savings mindset. So that coupled together really helped my savings rate. And during that time, I actually decided to pay off my student loans. I was big into Dave Ramsey. I was learning more about personal finance. He was talking about debt is dumb, cash is king. And if I were to do it over again, I would just pay actually the highest interest rate loans first, and like leave the ones that were under, let's say 5 and below or 4.5 and below, and just invest the difference and save the difference as well. Because I'm pretty sure I statistically I could achieve a 8% return or 9% return on my money, and if I invested those dollars during the pullback during COVID and employed those dollars, that would have shot up. But it's great to get debt out the way. So I'm glad I did pay off my student loans. I paid off like 27,000. I have a video about right here. That was the loans in my name. My mom does have loans in her name, and she's not asking me to pay for it, but I've told her that's what I'm gonna do. And there's no agreement or anything, but I'm just paying her back monthly. And then when I got my big boy job, or my job that I have now, I'm actually a flight attendant working for a major airline. I set up auto investments into my 401k. Of course, that's how it is. It's auto deduction. I get a good match, like a 9% match, which is amazing. And since it's out of sight, out of mind, I wanted to just like feed into that pool. So I did, when I first started off, I was putting like 16 or 17% in there. And I started lowering it as I learned more about personal financing and learned that I can be more aggressive in some investment platforms, whether it be an IRA or outside brokerages, and also saving up cash to start my business. So I'm big into saving, making my money make money, having it not really sitting in a place where it doesn't really grow much. So all my high interest savings accounts are like 4.6 and above. I do have a 5% one, and ideally I want to put it in the market so it has more of a place for it to grow and to grow. So I know that money can grow if I put it places rather than just saving it in cash. So I learned that, and I really took it to heart. I know if me as a 30-year-old, my $1 can turn into this number right here. By the time I'm 65, I want to take it out. So that knowing that, it's like, okay, I need to put more dollars here. So let's say $100 is going to turn into this number by the time I'm 65, and that's super powerful. So just having that mindset and knowing that money should be making more money is a big reason why my net worth is gone to where it is, because I want my money to grow. And also the biggest reason why I am achieving this net worth is because I'm kind of a cheap person. Like I mentioned before, I don't really like to spend too much money. I have an old car that I bought in cash. I don't have car payments. I don't really buy new clothes anymore. I go to a thrift store or buy used shoes off of eBay. I keep my phones until they're super broken. And I usually like to buy used phones and used electronics. And I naturally don't want to pay a lot in rent. So for the majority of the time I've been a flight attendant, I was renting rooms and having roommates in Detroit and not paying more than $550. My rent actually went down. I moved a couple places that went down a little bit, moved down to another place that went down to a little bit. So the last place I was at, I was only paying $400 a month for rent, and I basically had the place to myself for the majority of it, because my roommate was actually not there that much because she worked a lot, and I basically had the place to myself, so that was great. I did leave there because some things did pop up. A couple more people moved in, and they were only supposed to stay there for a little bit, but blah blah blah, they were there longer. So now, since my schedule is like I'm flying, I'm away from home when I'm working, and then also when I'm in town, I'm doing my food truck. I'm very busy. I don't have too much free time. I actually am living with my parents now, and they're gracious enough to allow me to stay with them. I am 30 years old, and I'm living with my parents, but that doesn't bother me. It does allow me to save more money, give money into to their hands rather than a random landlord that I don't know. And we get to hang out together a bit before I actually buy a property somewhere and just be gone. My rent is extremely low, and those monies that I'm not putting into the rental market, I'm putting into places where it can better my life, whether it be investment, saving, adding it to my business. I'm not just throwing it away to for rent. And I'm not a big person that's like trying to get away from rent. I understand the value of it. Home ownership does come with some upsides, but I don't think the upside is like that great for me to like run out and, let's say buy a home right now, or yeah, I'm fine with renting. Let's say there's a lot of expenses coming up as a homeowner, and if I can invest the difference from, let's say, rent and miscellaneous expenses from a mortgage or whatever, I think I'm not doing so bad. But I do want to buy a rental property and get a home that actually makes me money rather than just paying to have a roof over my head. not debating that people shouldn't buy a primary residence, but I don't see the urge to really go out and buy a primary residence. Whatever real estate I get into, I want it to make money, generate cash flow. But that's for videos down the line when I actually start doing it. So basically, I don't really like spending money too much, but there are a few things that I do spend money on. So this maybe might have hindered my net worth a little bit. I do like to travel, and traveling is a little bit more inexpensive for me than other people, but I do it at a higher volume. So it is probably, I'm spending more money than I usually would if I didn't have flight benefits. Most of my hotels are taken care of by points, and I was in a relationship previously when I was doing a lot of travel, and we would split the cost. And I am traveling with friends and stuff now. We might split the dwelling, but most of the dwellings come from Hyatt points, Chase points, transferring to Hyatt, getting more value. So a lot of the travel I do is from points, but I am doing it at more volume. So I'm eating out more, blah, blah, blah. So that does take money out of my pocket. And one of the biggest lifestyle creeps for me is food right now on my layovers. I don't really pack food like I used to. I used to pack a lot. So I'm spending more money proportionally to my income than I would if I was packing lunch and saving that money and investing that money that I was packing lunch and stuff. But I have gotten a subsequent raise since I started. Many years into being a flight attendant, I was packing my food and not eating that much out. But now I'm also treating it as a business with this YouTube channel, doing some tax write-offs when I'm doing reviews of food or whatever. So that might reduce the cost a little bit, but still, if I ate out less on my layovers, I could invest more money, save more money. I do eat at home more often here at home, and on the food truck I eat there. So at home I don't really spend too much money, but sometimes I might go out, let's say, meet some friends, and that just mitigates sometimes the money I've saved. But I don't do it too often. I save a big chunk of my income, so that really does help because I have the mindset. And even though I might be, that's basically how I've achieved this net worth, not spending that much money. I know some people have different life circumstances. They can't live with their folks. They have kids to take care of. It's challenging for them to find a higher income. They have a lot of debt. But if they can pay down the high interest debt, start savings money into a high yield savings account, just doing the smart things, money smart things, it can definitely help you out. You can start by investing $5 a month, $10 a month, boosting up from there, pay down the debt as much as you can, keeping that emergency fund. The Money Guy Show is the best resource, I would say. Dave Ramsey, he's cool. But make your money make money. Get down on debt and just have that mindset of, okay, if we put more dollars here, it can grow in the future. Still take care of yourself, do whatever you like, but there's some fun things you can do that may not cost you that much money. So hopefully this video is not too long. Probably is, but I hope you enjoyed it. This is how I achieve like over $100,000 worth of net worth, y'all. Net worth. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, y'all.